everyone, and welcome to Telmas Podcast. I hope all of you are well. Let's just say I had the off day in the office. These things happen. Oh well, the thing is, show must go on. That's the one number rule I have to say to people. Whatever you have to do not allow things to affect what your purpose is and what you're supposed to do. All right. So talking of which, my guest today is Tim. So Tim is a poet. He is an artist. He is an actor. He's a director and much more. All right. I met him. Sorry about this, everyone. I had a phone call. Sorry about this. Right. So Tim, I met him. It was Game Changers. All right. So me and him and other people went on a retreat for people creative, so to talk about how to take our days further. So that's how I met Tim. All right. I can't wait to catch up with him to see what he's been up to. All right. So let me see if I can invite him. Having a lovely Wednesday. All right. So please, as I said, my day wasn't great, but show must go on. Okay. And it is what it is. But I have to say, in life, you have good days, you have bad days. It's what you do to make it better. That's the one thing I would say. Lovely. Hello,
How you
Tim.
doing? How you doing? How you doing? Can you hear me properly?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, perfectly. How are you?
Lovely. Tim, nice to see you. It's been
I know, it's been a long time.
nearly a decade me and you know
I
each other.
know. I know, right? Time has flown.
I'm telling you, I feel like I saw you yesterday. A
I
decade.
know. I know, it's been 10 years. I can't believe it. I can't
Okay,
believe
so
it.
please, I know you, but can you please introduce yourself to us, please?
My name is Tim Anthony Ford. I'm a filmmaker, spoken word artist, actor. If there's anything else that I haven't ticked off. And I also run and get involved in sort of events building, sort of managing events, that sort of thing. So basically that's
Wow.
me, Tim Anthony Ford.
Yeah, and you are a poet as
I'm
well.
a poet. I'm a poet as well. I am a poet as well, man. I literally been writing spoken word poetry since the age of what, maybe 13, something like that. And just basically because everything that I've done is somewhat being almost like, okay, this is education, but I'm going to take my education into, what I do in life. So whatever I've studied, either writing and media, journalism and communication, screenwriting or whatever, I've always made sure it's going to sort of help in my direction of what I do in life. Events management, I didn't train for, but I ended up still sort of falling into that, which has been good as well.
That's fantastic. I like it. You're not into that, but you fell into it. I mean, that's
Yeah,
life.
fell
Things like
into it,
that
man.
happen. It happens for a reason. So,
Absolutely.
so Tim, you've been, let's say, a creative person since you were at
Mm,
the age of
mm.
13. So, that's always been a passion of yours to be creative?
I think I remember saying when I was probably about maybe 6, 7, sort of saying like, you know what, when they ask you, what do you want to be when you're older, and I sort of said, oh, I just basically I want to meet people, different people every day,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be outside. That is something that I've always said. So like, I want to be outside. I want to always be outside. I don't want to be stuck behind a desk. I don't want to be sort of doing anything that's sort of monotonous, the same thing every single day. So yeah, if that answers your question,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah, no, it does. It does make sense.
yeah,
Yeah, lovely. That's how we met, Game
yes.
Changers. So, how did you apply? How did you hear of it? Tell me your side, and I'll
Game
tell you my side.
Game Changers. So Game Changers was, I believe, a lady called Kim Andrews. Is
Mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm.
correct? Yeah, and that was let me see how I remember sort of meeting her. Getting introduced by Kim to Kim, sorry. I cannot actually recall, but it's probably like some sort of networking sort of thing. via filming, directing, or whatever, and I got introduced to her, and it's a pity because it would have been good to sort of do some more work with her because she's an amazing, amazing woman, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we sort of met doing this kind of like a course. It was like almost like a creative course
Yes.
where we met some people in the industry. We met some actresses who are, you know, so black actresses and actors, I believe, who
Yes.
are sort of doing some major stuff. Because this is 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Who are doing some great stuff within the industry. And it was just like almost like a seminar to calibrate where your brain was. So like if you are falling off the track a little bit with your creativity, it was like a case of let's get you back to that creative essence of you, like of what you want to do. I've still got that notepad. I still got a notepad that they were giving
Yeah.
me because I use it almost every other day.
Oh,
You know what I mean? I've got loads of notepads. But yeah, that's kind of how we met, you know,
yeah.
at this seminar. And
Yeah.
it was a nice little cozy, almost like cozy house in
Yoga.
what was it? Yoga? What was it? Not Wimbledon, South. What was it? It was quite out there, like not why I say quite out
Healing.
there.
I forgot.
Ealing or Wimbledon. I think it was Wimbledon.
Yeah.
South Wimbledon, something like that. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
really nice sort of area and whatnot. So yeah, that was good, and I think it just puts your mind in the right place when you're sort of in around these type of people kind of thing.
Yeah, but I remember for me, you stood out because you knew what you were. I had no clue. The thing is,
Yeah.
I was there. I was like, I've got all these ideas, but I wasn't
Mm.
really sure. And I saw all of you guys, so much inspiration, so much like, yeah. I remember you were also giving advice. It's about confidence. There's
Mm.
something that you talk
Mm.
about a lot.
Yeah.
And it's true at the time, I was like, I don't know if I have that confidence. And it was a lot of times between that period, 2015 to now, I started something, I gave up, I stopped.
Mm.
And it was hard, but I saw that you were consistent. I saw that sometimes you were doing poetry live, like word spoken artist. And I loved that the way you expressed those words,
Mm.
brought that poetry to life. I
I
just
appreciate
loved
you.
it. Yeah, it was
I
fantastic.
appreciate
So I became a big
you. I appreciate
fan,
you.
really.
Oh
And
wow,
I was like,
appreciate you.
listen, I always knew you're gonna do great things, and you're still doing great things. I mean, look at you.
Appreciate you.
It's
Appreciate
fantastic.
you. Appreciate you. Totally appreciate you. I mean, when you mention sort of confidence, I think a lot of the time it's like how you, I think I don't want to say it's difficult to sort of say where does confidence comes from? Where does it come from? But I think it almost comes from the ability of you knowing yourself. Like the more you know yourself, the more confident you are. And then in the case of no one can really tell you anything else really. Because like I think one thing that you don't want to do is like um have someone tell you who they think you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like when you open your mouth and speak, it's about what are you giving the world? So sometimes there's so many different personalities within, you know, a creative that you have to tap into that sometimes people think, oh, that's you. Oh no, that's him. Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
that's him there. Oh, but that's him there. But from the time that you're grounded and you know who you are, like it doesn't matter what everybody else is saying, like and what they think about you. Like your confidence and whatnot just comes from who you are or who you want to attain to be.
Mm-hmm.
So your confidence comes from within. It's literally nothing to do with anything external. Like, you know, looking outside of yourself and going, oh yeah, you know what? Like that guy drives this car here. That guy has a house there. Oh, you seen his girl? No, it's about how you feel within you to
Mm-hmm.
be like, okay. And it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of like, there's you know what I mean? Some of the, I came across my past some years ago that showed me about sort of shadow working and stuff like that. Like, you know, having to understand who you are as a person and go into the deep, dark side of yourself to
Mm-hmm.
get to have that inner understanding of yourself before you're ready to either show the world or whatever it is. Like we're still learning who we are. Certain situations is what changes who we are as people,
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
kind of where the
Yeah.
confidence or perceived confidence comes from. It's about just knowing yourself and just working on yourself.
I feel like you're a philosopher.
Oh man. Oh, don't get me started. One of the things I studied was the philosophy of
You
religion.
see? You
You
see?
know what I mean? It's like I think it's the Nigerian side of me. The Nigerian side of me is like, yeah, you have to study, you have to learn, you have to do this. Like just keep on studying, just keep on because I think it's about you studying
Yeah.
yourself. So just
Yeah.
keep studying yourself. Like trust me, like I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect,
What's
and none of us
perfection?
are. What is
What's
perfection?
perfection?
Absolutely. What is perfection? Don't get me wrong. Like you are perfect in the essence of you being made into this, into the form of the person that you are. You are perfect in that form. Like, what I mean? Your mother and father coming together and procreating and making you. That's perfection because it's something that's happened. You're here. That's perfection. I think our levels of perfection or what we see as perfection sometimes is quite we almost have it like limitless, like in a thing of like there's no end to it kind of thing. So we find it hard to achieve it.
Mm-hmm.
But like literally perfection is what you say it is.
That's it. That's it. I love what you're saying. Have you
Mm.
thought of writing a book?
um yeah, I have. Uh,
So
it's
when are we
funny.
gonna see this book?
It is well, boy. That's the thing. That's the thing. So, there's a friend of mine that is a writer. I've known her for years, but she's been writing kind of thing. And she kind of not accidentally, sort of got into writing just by sort of writing with her friends. And I went to a book launch not too long ago. A lady called Vanessa Waters, who's written a book called Lagos Wives, and it's funny because I asked her, I was like, oh, how do you put certain things together? And other writers all went to the launch of the book. Are you putting things together and stuff like that? Everyone is just kind of writing it, just putting it there somewhere and keeping it somewhere and finding it. So will I write a book? The answer is yes. And I just got to keep on it. I got to try and build all my bricks of all my creativity up.
Mm.
And by the grace of God, before I leave this planet, at least I'll leave a manuscript or whatever
Yeah.
of at least one book or several
Mm.
books that I would have written.
That's amazing.
So yeah,
I can't.
poetry, spoken word, I got loads, but books. Whew.
I like that you're thinking and considering it,
Mm.
and I feel like it's coming.
Well, by
Personally,
the
I feel
grace of
like
God,
it's
by the
coming.
grace of God, I
That's
appreciate you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you.
And I saw that you met a few celebrities. Method Man, my man. So can you tell me about that, please?
Oh man. So the situation with that was I was filming. I was filming for a mutual friend who basically I met through a guy's couple of fashion designers called Art Comes First. So they sort of introduced me to this gentleman, for the grace of God, like life of me, I don't know why I can't remember his name at the top of my head right now. Unfortunately, he even passed away.
Oh,
But he introduced us to Method and Redman at the one of their concerts. You kind of realize it's like, oh my gosh, like Method Red in town.
mhm.
Let's go down to the Brixton. Was it the Brixton? I can't remember the spot there. Brixton Academy.
Yeah.
Let's go down to the Brixton Academy. This is a good few years ago as well. And he's like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We'll just wait for them outside. Like, da, da, da. Called him up, said, oh yeah, we're gonna be outside. Blah blah. Oh, yeah, I got my boys with me. Introduced to them. We were introduced to them. Method, very, very warm individual. Like,
He looks
he's got time for everybody. He's got time for everybody. Like, he's a gentleman. Like, and he's one of those kind of people that he's a likable character that you could approach and say, hey, like, Meth, da, 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 let's talk about this, da, 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 da. And like, obviously when they're in their sort of way and we're backstage, whatever, with a whole load of them, we got Redman, you got I think Method's sister, I believe, was in there, kind of thing. There's a few different people in there. And it was just one of those things where we were just joking, we were just cracking jokes. And it was just a case of, like, I heard you can do this English accent and whatnot. This is before we knew that we knew he was an actor, but before we knew he was a serious actor, like, I was like, yo, like, do some accents for me, whatever, whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna get you on camera outside and just pretend we don't know each other, like, you know what I mean? I did it. It was dope, dope. It was funny because I
oh
did one with Redman as well.
Method Man, English
No,
accent.
man,
Nah,
that was funny. That was hilarious. He's a cool cat.
I'm
He's a cool cat.
sure I can see. And the thing is, I don't know him personally, but
Yeah,
from the interview, he looks like a very down to earth person.
he's so down to earth, and I think it's about that go deep a bit. It's about the heart chakra. The heart chakra is green. The heart chakra like resonates in green, and if you think what green is and what does Method Man do, he smokes a lot of green. Like so like I wonder allegedly. Well, then, but obviously, states is legal anyway. But anyway, so I think it's about the heart chakra. It's about, you knowing yourself. One second. Alexa, turn F1 white and give you a little bit of light.
Yeah,
Give you a little bit
please.
of light. You know what I mean? It's getting darker. But yeah, it's about, he was just such a nice guy. He was just such a nice guy, down to earth guy.
Oh,
Like a big brother, which is pretty cool.
so
I
nice.
mean,
So, yeah, I mean, look at you. You're one person.
mm.
You're doing so many creative things. How do you get the time?
You know
Honestly,
what? I excuse me, I've just been diagnosed with ADHD. You didn't even know what the hell that was. But
I know.
and it's yeah, no, really. So it's one of those things where if you know as well, we juggle so many different things all at the same time. Now there's two issues with that. There's a good and there's a bad of it. Like you have all these great ideas and it's about executing them. You can have all the great ideas all the time, but then the other, you can have all the great ideas and not being able to execute them, or you can always have all these great ideas and have them and always be ready for any
Mm-hmm.
eventuality.
Mm-hmm.
So someone says, "Oh, can you do poetry?" Oh, yeah, 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 sure. Let me just get you a piece here. Or can you write poetry like within the next couple of hours? Oh, yeah, sure. Let me write that down. Oh, can you act? Oh, yeah, yeah. I've been trained in acting. Yeah, 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 so I could do that. Oh, can you film? Yeah, with that camera? Yeah, 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 sure. Like, you know what I mean? What crew we got? Like, let's film. So I think it's a case of a seasonal thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a seasonal thing. Like I find, say like when I go, I haven't been to America in a minute, but it's a massive minute. Like I come from America. Anyway, I haven't been to America in a while. And I think like 2019, I think, just before the lockdown or whatever, like so I used to go to America like quite a bit. Like every summer I would spend at least 3 months or whatever, like in the States. I got family out there, whatever. So Atlanta, especially, I got my niece, my sister, my nephews and nieces all over Atlanta. A couple of friends out there. And I find that I get more creative when I'm in the summer, in the sunshine. So in
Yeah.
the sunshine, I want to do everything
Mm-hmm.
because the thing is, when the sun is coming through your window and it's relentless. It's just like, yo, it's hot out there. It's a nice day out there, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for us as melanated people, as soon as we see a bit of sunshine, we're like, yo, I want to be out there.
Good. Good.
Like, so basically in to answer the question, like, you know what I mean, how do I get the time to do everything is literally about a seasonal thing. It's about the sunshine. We are seasonal beings. We
Mm-hmm.
are not beings that are used to just having a gray day every single day. It's not a gray day, it's a gray day. You know what I mean? Like so during the year, I get to do different things. So I guess maybe I haven't really paid that much attention to it in terms of how I do it. Is there like during the what's it called, winter season, do I sort of chill and do certain things that are more indoorsy type stuff like write poetry, perform poetry. During the summer, do I shoot stuff or film music videos or direct a film or whatever, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's all about
Yeah.
season. And you just gotta understand your body, understand who you are, understand your mind and your creativity and go, okay, what makes sense to me?
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
makes sense to you?
Yeah. You're right.
It's
I
about
think
you at the
you're
end of
right.
the day. It's
Spring is
all about you.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Spring is around the corner.
Yeah.
People will be happy with the weather as well.
Mm.
So the weather makes a difference as well. It's just oh,
Oh
what,
yeah.
I feel like going, picnic. It's about also, the inner creativity as well that can
Yeah.
play a part. So that's
No,
fantastic.
abs- absolutely. I think another thing as well is like you have to understand that like wherever we are, we're not we were well, I was born here, but I don't feel like I was from here in a sense. My dad's from Barbados, my mom's from Nigeria. But like what you have to understand is like the kind of environment that we've been put into an environment, it's a cold environment that we have to work very fast to get our money. If we don't do our work now, we won't be able to eat for winter kind of mentality. But like in my mind and in the way that I, work or play, whatever, it's about
Yeah.
how I feel to do that particular work and knowing that it feels right to do that particular work. I don't want to do a job where, even if it's an events job, where like, the client is might be some millionaire, billionaire, whatever, but he's not a nice person.
Yeah.
I don't want to work for you. Like, I don't care
No.
like, how much money you're making. I don't want to work
Yeah.
for you because at the end of the day, after that, after we spend the money that we made from that job or save that money that we made from that job, it's like the energy is still on you of that
Yeah.
person. Like that energy of like, what I mean, how you work with that person and how they're trying to corrupt your energy and stuff like that. Like you know what I mean? You don't need that. So in a sense, what I'm trying to basically say is we have to be as creative and as open-minded as possible. If we have our 9 to 5 that we're doing, we still have to have something that we love, passionately love. Otherwise, it's a case of just working straight to the grave, and that's long. And then you haven't left anything, or you don't feel like you've touched anyone's lives or anything like that.
No,
So
you're totally
yeah.
right. I totally agree with what you're saying.
Mm.
I like to be a teacher, and as I
Okay.
was saying before, I had you. Yeah, I am a teacher. To be honest,
Okay.
do I love it? I'm not sure. I love creativity. I love media.
Okay.
But the one thing I've learned, you need to have a sustainable job to pay the bills and things like that. That is important. That's a must. It took me a time
Mm.
to understand that.
Mm.
But you're right. If, let's say, there's some people that love teaching and they're going to do that regardless, I feel like, I like teaching,
Mm.
but I like doing what I'm doing now.
Mm.
One day I want to write my book. The creativity in me, this is something that keeps me going. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. So I totally get it,
I hear that.
honestly. But
Yeah.
honestly, you're such a wonderful person.
No, I
I want to
appreciate
say
you.
thank you
No
so
worries.
much for
No
me.
worries. Like
Open up about
this is
everything.
standard though. This is standard. You don't feel like you know what I mean, you can reach out to me whenever you can, like, you know what I mean? And like let's do some work, whatever.
Of
Like this
course.
is
Oh,
standard
thank you for the
because
invitation.
no
Are you
worries.
sure about that? I'm going to be bothering you. Be like, oh, my days. Tell me,
No,
let's
for
do
real,
what?
for real. No, for
Yeah.
real, for real, for real. Because at the end of the day, if if it's something that I can do at the time, absolutely, yeah, boom, boom, let's do this. Because what we spoke about this, maybe last week and the week before, and it was just a case of, when you're free, all right, cool. Like my weeks at the moment are really nice because I can control what day, what time I can work or film or edit or whatever. Because like at the moment, my thing is 7 a.m. I'm at the gym, got a gym group that we all train together, 4, 5, 6 people, train together, kind of thing. And the rest of your day, you can do whatever you want. So
That's it.
I can choose what I want to do diary wise. Do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes that is the best thing that you need in your life because all of us have gone through some sort of trauma that has brought us to where we are right now. And it's a case of we have to remember to work on ourselves as we go along, making money. Make money as well as, make yourself a better person,
Yeah.
like, a better person that you're going to leave behind and go, yeah, yeah, you know what? The legacy of who I left behind was actually kind of good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy. Cool. Let's go.
Yeah. No, you're totally right.
You know,
Self-care, that's one thing I've learned this year. Look
absolutely.
after number one, myself.
Absolutely.
I used to come home
Absolutely.
with massive headache, and then I said to myself, "That's not healthy." I
Mm,
get having paracetamol every single day.
mm,
That's not healthy.
it's not.
Then I thought, what is my happy place? I
Mm,
love to read. I love to go on the walks. I love to be creative. I mean, listen, you're totally right. You're totally. Otherwise, I'm just gonna dug my own grave and that's it, gone. No
that's wrong,
point.
man. You don't want to do that,
No,
man. And
life is
take as
short.
many holidays as you can.
Yeah,
Book a
thank you
holiday.
for that.
Book
Yeah,
a holiday. Because I'll tell you what a holiday will do. A holiday is like a case of like, you need to book something in the future so that you can attain it, whatever. Because if you book a holiday, for instance, if there's a body goal that you want to attain, then you'll be like, all right, yeah, like holidays coming in April, May, June, whatever, whatever. Let's work. You know what I mean? Let me work my body towards that towards that holiday. That's why I got my incense burning in there. It's choking me up.
But anyway,
Yeah,
that's a very good advice. Holidays.
yeah,
My final question
holidays.
for you: what would you advise young people that would like to be, creative, actors, directors,
Um,
poets?
I think it depends on your discipline. Acting wise, I feel like acting wise, I feel like you need to go to some of these like, you know what I mean, acting schools or whatnot. The one I studied that was Identity Drama School was a phenomenal acting school. He's produced one of the best actors, like I think even in America right now. I think going to a drama school is important. Starting drama from school, speaking to your drama teachers and letting them know exactly like, what you want to do, blah, blah. I think it depends on how old you are as a kid
Mm-hmm.
for this is for the parents as well out there. It's like, from 0 to 7, just making sure that you give your child all the activities that you can afford within that remit. Because knowing that that activity that you've got that child to learn for the next 4 or 5 years when they're at school or whatever, is going to be what's going to pave the way for them when they're older. So, in a sense of what advice would I give to young people that want to get into film, I would say I wouldn't suggest necessarily going to university like I did in terms of film. I did a master's in cinematography and post production. That's the last thing I did in film. I feel like the only thing that gained for me was connections with other people,
Yeah.
other filmmakers, to sort of start. There's like a first assistant camera there. There's a director of photography there. There's someone there that I can call if we got a project on and call them and go, you know, let's shoot something. So I think with filming, I think you just need to what suggested I could have done before I went to do my masters was look at the university that you would go to that you want to go to that's shooting or there's doing that film project or whatever it is. Look at the books that they've got. One of them that I did in my studies was cinematography. I can't remember the name of the book, whatever. But it's called cinematography, but I can't remember the author. But it's a thick book on cinematography. Get all these different books and go onto YouTube, look through the books, read the books, and learn something. It's like no no film school, I think it's called,
No.
which is like something like that on YouTube, no film school or
Okay.
something like that, where basically just teaches you how to film, teaches you how to light a character, teaches you how to center a character, how to whatever you're doing. Like I mean, it teaches you that. So basically, what I'm saying is, in a short, whatever it is that you want to do, unless you're trying to do open heart surgery, you don't necessarily need to study. Only kind of study that you need to do is on the ground. Like find a person, find a institution or a community that does what you're trying to do. Yeah. And if it is something like you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, whatever, then you know the route to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you have to study, you have to do your 5 7 years, whatever. If you want to be a nurse or a doctor, you have to go to do the bar, whatever. When you be a lawyer and stuff like that. So I think it's just a case of writing down exactly what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of they say the 5 year plan or whatever. I feel like it's almost like you need to be writing something down every day because we all fall flat on our faces if we do not plan as much as we can,
That's
our lives. Plan as much as you can, write as much as you can, be as
that.
creative as much as you can, do flow charts. There's a lot I could be talking forever about
No, but you're
what
right.
I
Planning,
feel important
planning,
to do.
set
Mm,
your goals.
plan
Yeah.
is important.
No, that's very good advice. I love it.
Mm.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tim. I hope I can see you. Do you live around Peckham, Dulwich?
No, so I'm not in South London anymore. I'm in North London at the
Oh,
moment. So I'm back down in North London, but I travel. I can go wherever. I was in Peckham the other day
oh,
hosting a film for a friend of mine that I went to uni with, which is called Juju Man. So I was hosting the launch, the screening for that. That was phenomenal. You gotta catch that.
oh.
It's a
Of
short film
course.
called Juju Man.
Please,
Dope. We're just doing
anything
so
I
many.
can
We're doing so
see you.
many.
Yes, please. But you have
Definitely.
me up. Hopefully, we can meet the other ones that went into the course with us. That was honestly that
Absolutely.
was the best 2 days I had. Oh,
Honestly, it really
amazing.
was. Contact them and just interview them. Interview Kim
Yes,
Andrews.
I
Interview Kim. Find
I
Kim
have
on
contacted
LinkedIn.
her.
Exactly. Like get through to her. Interview, man. Definitely.
Yeah, of
All
course.
right.
I'll let you
Oh
know.
man. Definitely, Telma. It was
Thank
a
you so
pleasure.
much for your time, Tim.
No
Yeah, I really appreciate
worries. No worries at all. I really appreciate you reaching out.
it. It's a
All
pleasure.
right.
We
No
keep in
worries.
touch, yeah?
Definitely, hon. You take care, yeah?
Take care. Bye,
Have a
Tim.
good one. Take care.